Hi, my name is Ari Mishik and I'm a trumpet player and composer based in San Francisco. This video is for the composers out there and is all about how to use trumpet mutes in your music. If you're writing for the trumpet and you're not sure whether you should use a trumpet mute, which trumpet mute to use, or when to use it, this video is for you. As a professional trumpet player, I'll be giving you my insider's perspective about what each mute does well and what they don't do so well. Choosing the right or wrong mute can make a huge difference in the playability and overall effectiveness of a piece. I have a free PDF guide linked in the description all about composing for trumpet mutes. It has a lot of information and diagrams that I hope will be helpful to you. Also, if you have any questions during the video, please leave a comment. So why use a trumpet mute? Well, they can totally change the sound of the instrument. You can get a bright, brilliant sound perfect for cutting through an orchestra, or a mellow, blended sound to support other instruments. When you're thinking about using a mute, you need to consider three things: tone color, dynamic range, and playability. What sound are you going for? How loud does it need to be? And how challenging is the music going to be for the trumpet player? To help you visualize the specific tone colors and dynamic capabilities of each mute, I've created a diagram. Moving from left to right, we have dynamic capabilities from soft to loud, and moving from low to high, we have tone color ranging from dark and warm to bright and brilliant. I'll draw a box to roughly estimate where each mute sits compared to others on this scale. This video is going to focus on what I consider to be three of our most commonly used mutes for classical trumpet players. These are the straight mute, the cup mute, and the Harmon mute. There are other mutes out there, including the plunger and bucket mute, but I'll be covering those at another time. The straight mute is by far the most common and widely used trumpet mute in classical music. Orchestral trumpet players will have at least two straight mutes at their disposal. These are a metal straight mute, which can be played at a wide range of dynamics, and a fiber straight mute, which can create a very soft and blended sound. Straight mutes are relatively consistent across all registers of the instrument, meaning that they can be played in a variety of styles and characters in the upper and lower registers. If you're wanting to add a mute to a composition that creates a more brilliant tone or even a more covered sound, a straight mute is a safe bet for playability at all dynamics. Here are a couple examples of each type of straight mute. The next mute I'll be talking about is the Harmon mute. The Harmon provides a lot of wonderful and interesting colors. It can be played with the stem in, which creates a sort of nasal, old-fashioned jazz sound, or it can be played without stem, which has an almost flute-like, buzzy sound with a lot of high frequencies. Just listen to Miles Davis for great examples of the Harmon mute with the stem out. There are composers who have written for the stem to be placed partially out, and while this is a possibility, in my opinion, this can create a lot of logistical issues for a sound that is very similar to the sound of the mute with the stem all the way in. To play with the stem partially out, trumpet players will need extra time to set the stem in place and also find a way of putting the mute down so that it doesn't roll off of a stand. The Harmon mute is already a little challenging to play in tune, and pulling the stem out partially seems to make this even more difficult. If you're thinking of including Harmon mute in your music, I would recommend first exploring writing for the stem all the way in or all the way out. Harmon mute with the stem has a decent amount of sound projection, but a little less than the straight mute. It also has intonation issues and some difficulty with accuracy in the upper register. A great example of Harmon mute with stem is André Jolivet's Second Trumpet Concerto. Harmon Mute without stem creates a beautiful sound. One of my favorite orchestrations for this is when it's combined with the flute. To hear an amazing example, check out Christian Atunde Adjoa's recording of Radiohead's The Eraser with Elena Penderhughes on flute. Keep in mind that jazz recordings of Harmon without stem are all using a microphone. Unfortunately, in a classical orchestra, Harmon Mute without the stem has very little projection, and lines need to be doubled or tripled to be heard. The warm, low register of this mute, played at a soft dynamic, really gets lost in the texture. One other factor that you'll want to consider when composing for the Harmon Mute is playability. While very loud technical passages can be executed on a straight mute, generally that writing needs to be simplified for a passage to work on Harmon Mute. For example, the opening to Respighi's Pines of Rome works on a straight mute, but would be extremely difficult on Harmon Mute. The last mute I'll talk about is the cup mute. This is by far the warmest and darkest sounding mute that I've covered. It has a beautiful sound for lyrical and quiet playing and can also work well at louder dynamics. The sound of a cup mute being played loudly is somewhat similar to the Harmon Mute with the stem in. However, it is a little less metallic sounding and, in my opinion, a little easier to play in tune. Most professional trumpet players use a cup mute that is adjustable. This allows us to change the color of the sound from soft and dark to a little brighter and louder. Here are several examples. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I'm going to be making more videos about various mutes, techniques, and ways of composing for the trumpet. Please like and subscribe to help my channel. Again, the free PDF download is available in the description. Thank you.